Welcome, Professor Carlo Bellieni. We're here live in the studios of EWTN in Walsingham, otherwise known as England's Nazareth and the home of the Annunciation, and an area that you have a particular expertise in the unborn baby in the womb. For the benefit of our viewers who will be fascinated by the subject area you specialise in, could you begin by giving us an overview of this topic in the world and of its importance to our view of the dignity of the unborn baby in the womb?
Thank you very much for this invitation, for this opportunity. And I should say that the neonatologists have this great privilege of watching the fetus outside the womb, because the premature babies we are treating, who are born prematurely, are nothing more than fetuses, and so we can see what a fetus actually is. And throughout the years, many research works has been done to assess what a fetus can sense in the womb. And it has been a great discovery, because we now know that fetuses can sense, can feel several sensations before birth. From the half of the pregnancy, the senses are active, and a fetus can hear, can taste, can sense the movements of his or her mother, and moreover, he can remember these sensations when he is born. And some years ago, I wrote a book asking the most qualified researchers in the world, the researchers on human sentience, on human taste, hearing, and so on, about what they knew a fetus feels before birth. And this has been very interesting, because every one of them has described what a fetus can feel. Now we know that, for instance, our taste preferences start before birth, and our taste is influenced very much from what our mothers ate before birth. And a fetus before birth can listen to his or her mother's voice, and after birth, soon after birth, he can distinguish his mother's voice from another woman's voice. Many works has been performed in this field. But another important field in this area is fetal surgery. Fetal surgery is important because it is a pioneer field. Now we can treat surgically a fetus before birth, and without removing him from the womb. Of course, in this case, we might provoke a lot of pain. So we now know which kind of analgesic drugs we should administrate to the fetus to avoid this kind of pain, the pain of surgery. And this is very important because pain can provoke a dramatic increase of blood pressure, for instance, and these can provoke a dramatic increase of brain damage.
Recently, you've responded to a revised document on fetal pain from the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists in the UK, in which you point out some of the discrepancies of their conclusions. Could you share with us why you felt this was necessary?
Yes, of course, because in 2010, the Royal College already issued a document where they described fetal pain and fetal suffering. In 2022, they issued another document, which is an improvement of the first document. In the first document, they said that basically two things. First, that a fetus cannot feel pain before 24 weeks of gestation. And the second, that they did not recommend analgesia during fetal surgery. Now they have changed. In the first document, they added to the threshold of 24 weeks another important point, that even after that point, after that threshold, they excluded the possibility that a fetus could feel pain because they said that the fetus is always in a sleep state. Now they changed their advice. First, because they do not say anymore that a fetus is in a continuous sleep state, and this is important because it is true. A fetus can change his state from awake to sleep to crying and so on, even within the womb. Second, because they admitted the possibility of giving analgesic drugs during fetal surgery. Nonetheless, they changed the threshold from 24 to 28 weeks of gestation, the threshold to feel pain. And this is a problem. This is a problem because it is not so evident why they choose this threshold. In the document, it is written this has been chosen for three reasons. First, because the response to acoustic stimuli changes before and after the 28 weeks of gestation. But in that very document, they write that even before that age, that gestational age, a fetus can have active responses to acoustic stimuli. So it is not clear why they choose 28 weeks. Second, because they say that at 20 weeks of gestational age, a neuronal web in the brain called cerebral matrix appears. But the authors they quote in that document write in the paper they quote that they have not a clear idea of the effectiveness of that cerebral matrix, of that web of neurons. Third, because they use a study done on babies of 28 weeks of gestational age, and in that study the authors say that a painful stimulus and a non-painful stimulus in a baby of 28 weeks provoke the same kind of grimace, of facial movements. But there is a problem, because grimace is not per se a specific sign of pain. To assess pain in newborns, we use multifactorial scales, because a single sign is neither specific nor sensible enough. So saying that at 28 weeks of gestational age there is no difference in grimacy if we give a painful or a not painful stimulus is not enough to say that a fetus feels or doesn't feel pain. Moreover, a premature newborn has a very low pain threshold. So what we believe to be painful, to be not painful, may be painful for him. So if we provide him what we think to be a non-painful stimulus, maybe is actually a painful stimulus, though we are not aware of this. So, in few words, the aim of the Royal College is important because we should become aware more and more of when a fetus starts feeling pain if provoked. But there is a problem with their conclusions. The conclusion of 28 weeks is questionable. We know that the structures to feel pain are present from 23 weeks of gestational age. So we might imagine that a fetus can feel pain not before that age, but not after that age. After that age, there are many signs that show that a fetus can feel pain. For instance, several researchers of the Royal College of London in 1999 performed an interesting work assessing the movements of a fetus after an in-womb transfusion when they provoked pain in the fetus, and they saw that that group of fetuses had a dramatic increase of stress hormones after that painful intervention, exactly as happens in an adult. So many evidence shows the possibility of feeling pain. What pain means for a fetus, we cannot say it, because we should be in their minds. But maybe that kind of pain can be different from ours. But we cannot deny that from the half of pregnancy and no later, a fetus can feel pain.
As the medical profession advances in the world to provide us with a window into the womb and life of the unborn baby, where do you see the future of protecting mankind with the growing body of knowledge available to us today?
You should know that until the end of the last century, even baby's pain was denied by the scientific community. And many painful treatments in babies were performed without the necessary analgesia. Now, this is no more possible. And it is interesting to know that this was due to the work of a great researcher, Sunny Anand from US, who performed in 1987 in the New England Journal of Medicine a first research when he demonstrated both the pain of the baby and the pain of the fetus. Because it is the same. There is no difference in neurologic development between a fetus and a newborn of the same gestational age. So today we are aware of baby's pain, and we give every baby the necessary analgesic drugs. it is not so easy to understand in the case of the fetus. It is not so easy to understand that even the fetuses need analgesic drugs during, for instance, prenatal surgery. And this is the new frontier. As in 1990, it was the new frontier to be becoming aware of baby's pain. Now the new frontier is becoming aware of fetus's pain, even because today's medicine doesn't recognize the rights of those patients who cannot speak. Medicine recognizes their rights, but it is not always so consequent. So the pain of people in coma state or people with neurologic impairment or babies or even fetuses who cannot speak receive less frequently analgesic treatment than those patients who are active, who are autonomous, who can ask for their rights. So I think that becoming the advocate of the fetus is becoming the advocate of all those patients who cannot speak.
That's wonderful. Professor Carlo Bellieni, thank you so much for being with us today, and we look forward to the next time.
Okay, thank you very much. You're very kind.